Hey, I'm a mechanical engineer, and this is my servo that I turned into a speed controller. Now before we get any further along, I just want to say this is by no means the same as a hobby grade speed controller, and it is not intended to replace one. But with that being said, if you're in a bind sometime, this might be a quick fix that'll work perfectly for you. I used it on my spinner BattleBot a couple weeks back and it worked flawlessly. It is super simple to do, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Here I have a small gearbox powered by a DC motor with one positive and one negative wire coming out of it. Now I want to connect this to my receiver so I can control it by my transmitter. But unfortunately, whenever I hook it up, without the receiver even being on, it begins to run. And I continue to have zero control even after powering on the transmitter. Well, luckily there's a super easy way to fix it, and all you need is a continuous rotation servo. That kind of sounded like an infomercial. You could actually use just about any kind of servo, but a continuous rotation servo by far works the best. So to begin, we'll open it up by unscrewing the 4 screws on the bottom. We'll now gently remove the circuit board and cut the 2 motor wires at the base of the motor. Next, we'll strip the ends of the motor wires and then solder on one 4-inch connector wire to each of them. Just like that. And as you can see, I wrapped one of the solder points with a little bit of electrical tape just to make sure nothing would short out. We can now reinsert the circuit board back into the empty servo case, putting the new 2 wires through the hole where the gear shaft used to poke through. We'll put our screws back in, and now we can test it. So we'll connect our 2 motor wires to our 2 new servo wires, plug our servo into the receiver, turn it on and test it. Now at some point you may be presented with a situation where your transmitter is on, the throttle is in the neutral position, but yet the motor is still turning. But that's okay. Since we used a continuous rotation servo, there should be an adjustment screw built in to the circuit board. So all you have to do is reach in there with a small screwdriver and slowly adjust it until the motor stops. And then you'll be good to go. These tiny speed controllers are great to connect to small motors, but keep in mind that this is the size of the original motor that came with it. So if you use any motor larger than this, it will become less effective. With that being said, this is a micro servo. So if you have a standard sized continuous rotation servo, you could run a larger motor off of it. But regardless, like I said towards the beginning of the video, this is more of a quick fix and it is not intended for a long-term solution. And there you have it, my quick fix servo speed controller. But hey, thank you so much for you guys watching. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And Lord willing, I'll see you next Friday.
Thank you for watching, and please feel free to subscribe.